is it just me, or did something change in the last couple of days? I know Mercury went direct, and it's been a couple of weeks of deep introspection with me, and I'm coming out of that, and I think that I feel like there's some improvement in Gaza, and there's improvement in Israel. And I saw this speech by President Xi of China, and it just, he talked about a world that I want to live in, and, he was saying that the people need, the purpose of government is to take care of the people, and what did he say, create good living conditions so that people can live happy lives, bringing out their best and realizing their dreams. And when I heard that, it was like, yeah. And so the trade-off is to get a better standard of living, you have to give up your rugged individualism and surrender to a cooperative, that we're all working together for the betterment of all of us. And that's the shift that I'm hoping to see here. It's like, yeah, what is so good about this rugged individualism that I can do it on my own, pull up my bootstraps? It's like, yeah, it's like, what if we all go together and we make a better world for all of us? And so that's my hopeful message for today. And, I'm just thinking about, instead of the good things coming, the good things that are happening now. And it is happening now. So be of good cheer and bring a friend.
Hey everyone, this is Dismantle from Gaza. Happy New Year. So, since the beginning of this genocide, the Israeli army bombed and destroyed 198 historical and heritage sites. And this is a big number. For those who don't know, Gaza was, and still, of course, until now, one of the richest places in Palestine, the Arabic region, and even in the Middle East, because of its geography and history, and also kind people. Canaanites, Greeks, Romans, even the ancient Egyptians, Muslims and Christians, they were all here one day, and they have all sites, historical sites. So destroying these sites is just a loss, and because our future is our past is a very essential part of our future, this is reshaping how the world is seeing Gaza. So one of the things that we lost, and we are really sad that we lost, is El Basha Palace. It was destroyed by an Israeli airstrike, and the Israeli vehicles and bulldozers ran over even the rubble of this palace. It is Zahir Paper's palace. He is a Muslim prince, and this palace was built in 1260. It's more than 800 years old, and this is not the most terrifying thing in the bombing. The most terrifying thing is that this palace was treated as a museum, and hundreds of pieces back to the Canaanite, Roman, and Greek eras were there. I'm talking about columns, pottery, a lot of things. A lot of things. Even the oldest glass in the whole of Palestine, aged about 5,000 years. Yes, they were all inside that palace, and it was bombed. So that palace is the last palace in Gaza Strip, and one of the last palaces in Palestine and even the Arabic region. So it's just a new loss. But where is the UNESCO? Where are all these organizations and institutions talking about the global heritage and being, having mixed cultures, and that this is all important for the whole civilizations? It's not only Palestinian. Where are they? I mean, the big mosque, Al-Umari Mosque, was bombed. A church, one of the oldest churches in the whole world, was bombed. Now this palace and more than 190 other sites. Where are they? Where are they? They are destroying our culture. They are deleting. They are erasing our past. Where are they? I am, as a storyteller, telling you that this is destroying the last remaining resistance and being for us as Palestinians. It's just destroying our history. So where are they? I don't know. Who's gonna stop the Israeli army to commit more and more genocide against people, or even against the historical and heritage sites? I also don't know. But I hope the new year brings some peace on us and some motivation to do anything for this. I don't know how. We can't rebuild anything. We can't just get back in the time. We can't do anything for this, but at least we will remember and just maybe show the photos of the palace and other sites. That's it.
Remember early on when the Israeli military tried to claim that they did not bomb a hospital when we all knew that it was them? Well, Bassem posted that she was about 50 meters away when that same military attempted to bomb the maternity ward at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis. Salah posted a video showing where the bomb entered the hospital, and Gaza News Live said that the bomb did not explode, otherwise it would have killed dozens. But that attempted strike did kill one Palestinian and injured several. This same military ran over about 20 Palestinians who were sick and injured and sleeping in tents outside of another hospital with bulldozers. One of the journalists who works for Al Jazeera showed what the site looked like, how the people that were ran over are essentially buried underground. And let's not forget that Samir Abu Deka, who was a cameraman for Al Jazeera, was struck by an airstrike, and the Israeli military blocked ambulances and anybody from coming near him and made him bleed out for 6 hours. And we all know how they killed 3 Israeli hostages who were shirtless, unarmed, and waving white flags. If you didn't hear, there were several hundred Palestinian Christians taking shelter in a church when a mother and a daughter decided to make their way to a bathroom and an Israeli sniper shot them dead. Let's not forget that for weeks on end, they did not stop talking about Al-Shifa Hospital and how there's a command center underneath, which is why it's okay if they shoot and bomb and kill and attack, and then crickets. Now at that hospital, there's gravestones, tents, garbage, and no medical supplies whatsoever. This is the current image outside of Al-Shifa Hospital. You may or may not have heard, but the Israeli military strapped a Palestinian with explosives and a GoPro and sent him into a tunnel to see if Hamas was there. Hakim, who spoke to Middle East Eye, said that one soldier told him he wanted to send him to his God before taking him to a Hamas tunnel. He made me wear a belt filled with explosives and placed a GoPro camera on my head along with a rope around my waist. This is the same military that likes to say that Hamas uses civilians as human shields. This all happened in the last 3 days, but just imagine what we don't know about.
Hey everyone, this is Bassem from Gaza. It's the day 86 of the continuous ongoing genocide and the last day of this year. We are welcoming a new year and we hope to reach for a ceasefire, for a truce, and to get back to our homes. Talking about the last day, today about 12 massacres were committed against Palestinian families in the whole of Gaza Strip, in the north and in the south, and that resulted in the killing of 150 people and the injury of hundreds, and the missing actually also of hundreds of Palestinians. Today, 2 mosques were destroyed in a very crowded places in Deir al-Balah. One school called Siham School was bombed and targeted in Khan Yunis refugee camp. These are crowded places and these are massacres. In the north, the continuous bombing, artillery, warcrafts, airstrikes, all the bombings, all the targeting, even the snipers are still in the north of Gaza Strip, especially in the Jabalia and Beit Lahia places. So even if the ground invasion and the ground processes are not in a certain place, for example in Rimal, it is not safe yet. The bombings could target any place in Iran. So, talking about the massacres, we've reached, unfortunately, more than 30,000 people to be killed, including with that the people who are still under the rubble, unfortunately, because no one could rescue them during the past 86 days. As for the starvation and for the hunger, it's still the same, maybe worse, because in the north it's been so long time since the last time that any humanitarian aid truck entered the north of the strip. So today, the bombings were in El Maghazi refugee camp, in the Brej refugee camp, in the east of Khan Yunis, the east of Rafah, and the east of North Gaza also. The numbers are terrifying, are horrible. We're talking about more than 57,000 people are injured, more than 30,000 people are killed. About 107 are journalists. About 191 mosques and 3 churches were bombed, were destroyed. More than 67,000 buildings, residential buildings, were fully damaged, and more than 178,000 are partially damaged and people cannot live in it. More than 1,900,000 people are displaced. More than 3,000 people are arrested. More than 20 hospitals are out of service and damaged. More than 193 schools are bombed and damaged. So the numbers are terrifying, and we're talking about, even in the cultural wise, more than 190 or about 198 historical and heritage sites were bombed. So the numbers are just the largest since the beginning of the occupation. Yes, the numbers of people to be killed in Palestine because of the Israeli aggression is the largest during this year, between the years since 1948. The numbers are just terrifying, and we just hope to finish and to reach a ceasefire and to welcome the new year 2024 in peace and with the ability to go back to our homes. This is for now. Keep following to know about Gaza, and Happy New Year, all of you.
An Al Jazeera reporter just released a video of Israel's bulldozers buries alive dozens of Gaza's Kamal Adwan hospital. These are displaced Palestinians who have been running away from snipers and all of this chaos in Gaza right now. They have been stranded trying to find refuge, and these Israeli people ran them over with their bulldozers, burying them alive. Israeli forces stormed and bulldozed part of Kamal Adwan Hospital in North Gaza on Saturday, burying alive and killing dozens of patients and injured displaced Palestinians. The video from Al-Sharif suggests that the courtyard, which contained many tents set up by refugees, was deliberately bulldozed by Israeli forces before people had a chance to escape. Like, how worse can this get? How alive people are trying to stay safe and you're running them over. This is the crime committed by the Israeli forces in Kamal Adwan's yards. He then turns the camera to what looks like a dismembered limb, saying this is the body of an injured refugee who was in the hospital. The Israeli bulldozers ran him over. We cannot describe the situation. Tens of bodies run over by Israeli bulldozers. Like, I really cannot imagine. This is every day. Every day they find new creative ways to humiliate, to do the worst to the people of Gaza. Like, this is just unimaginable. Wallahi. It's like their minds, they're inspired to do the most wickedest and most demonic things every single day to these people. Shaitan inspires them every day to do the worst. Like, it's crazy to me.
So this is, yeah. You read that headline right. Israeli forces yesterday stormed and bulldozed parts of the Kamal Adwan hospital in northern Gaza, burying alive and killing dozens of patients and injured displaced Palestinians, according to a video that was uploaded by Al Jazeera videographer and reporter Anas al-Sharif. The video from al-Sharif suggests that the courtyard, which contained many tents set up by refugees, was deliberately bulldozed by Israeli forces before people had a chance to escape. According to witnesses that were there were dozens of people taking refuge in the yard when Israeli forces attacked that are now under the rubble, according to the videographer. We don't know the exact number of dead yet. But regardless of what that number ends up being, I don't think there are words to describe how horrific that is. I would show the video, but I can't. There are parts of it where there are what seem to be limbs present on the ground, and there's one part where a cat is gnawing on what appears to be flesh of one of the victims. And that obviously would lead to the video getting taken down, but more critically, I just don't think that's something any of you need to see. I did see it, and I wish I hadn't. It is worth contextualizing this, though, and acknowledging the fact that this is not the first time that Israel has used bulldozers against Palestinians. It's a fairly regular practice that existed even before October 7th. These bulldozers would regularly knock down Palestinian homes and, in effect, facilitate ethnic cleansing of Palestinian families. In a few years back, there was actually an American activist, Rachel Corrie, who was on the ground in Palestine and who was run over by an Israeli bulldozer in a really horrific murder. But there's not, I think, much more to say. We're witnessing a genocide in the Gaza Strip, and we're seeing some of the most horrific atrocities that I think most of us have ever seen. Even as myself, as someone who's spent years kind of studying genocides throughout history, I'm seeing videos and things that I don't know how to reckon with. I don't know how to handle a lot of stuff I wish I wouldn't have seen, but that I need to see, and I think we all, to a degree, need to see to understand just how horrific all of this is. This kind of shit can't be allowed to continue. God willing, it won't. And I think as it happens, we just have to be aware of what's happening as we continue to advocate for an end to this genocide and end to Israeli colonization of historic Palestine. But something worth thinking about, I guess. As always, free Palestine. Until next time.
أول فلتر سوداني 100% سوداني. الدعم بيمشي للسودان. استخدموا الفلتر ده وعملوا هاشتاج السودان.
Hello, good morning. There are several Israeli drones that are hovering over Deir al-Balah in circles. And there are several drones. And this is something that has never happened before. I mean, yes, of course, there is Israeli drones all of the time, very loud voice, but what we are seeing now, several drones going just round around above our heads. Adding to this the fact of the continuous bombings on the eastern side of Al-Buraish camp and Deir al-Balah.
If you're pro-Palestine and you live in the US, I want you to listen to this just for a minute. So, it is officially 2024, which means that eventually, I don't know when this will happen, but it will happen. Those volunteers who set up booths outside of popular places like the coffee shop that will not be named and other places, they set up booths and they try to get you to vote for their House or Senate candidate that they're propping. I think it could be a wonderful idea if we look up how much money their candidate has taken from AIPAC and ask them about it. I mean, I want to ask mine. If my senator is willing to sell a certain population down the river for $160K, I want to know what my community is worth. I think it's a fair question. Now, don't be rude if you decide to do this. Don't be uncivil. Don't be mean, because they're just volunteers. I don't know how complicit they are. But this is a chance. This is a chance to change some minds. This is a chance to make a statement. And this is a chance to peacefully protest while asking some very important questions that I think we would all like answers to. Because here's the thing. We give a certain country a lot of money every year, and I do mean a lot of money. So much so that they're able to have free healthcare, free education, and subsidized housing on the U.S.'s dime. So clearly the lie that they've been telling us that we can't have those things because there's just not enough money for it in our budget is false. We could have had those things all along. I want to ask my politicians the important questions. Do they support a ceasefire? Do they support us having things like that? And if they don't, why they feel okay that another country is able to have that while our people are struggling? I mean, I think people have a right to know that information and make the informed choice on whether they would like more dead civilians or healthcare or education or housing. I think people would like that. I think people would like to be able to make that choice.
قبر جدي وجدك وقبور كل أهالي بيت حانون كلها راحت. حتى الجثث لم تسلم من آليات الاحتلال. قد جرفت مقبرة مدينة بيت حانون التاريخية بالكامل. آليات الاحتلال دخلت إلى هذه المنطقة، إلى مقبرة بيت حانون، وقد هدمت المقابر بالآليات، بالجرافات وبالقصف. لم يتبقى أي قبر في هذه المنطقة، عبارة عن أرض فارغة.
تدمير المقبرة بالكامل. كما تشاهدون لم يبقى أثر للقبور إلا هذا القبر.
شاهدوا هذا القبر الذي تم فحره من قبل آليات الاحتلال.
Please tell me I'm not alone, because whenever I see something like this information, right, I immediately remember this and this and this one. Like, I cannot not stop thinking about this, because the amount of children who are like literally kidnapped, oftentimes in the middle of the night, away from their family, with no communication available to anyone outside of like wherever they're being held. And to know what Israel is a haven for.
Hey guys, I don't know if you guys heard the news, but a lot of right-wingers are very mad at Green Day right now for changing the lyrics in American Idiot from "I'm not a part of a redneck agenda" to "I'm not a part of a MAGA agenda." And people are mad because it's too political. Too political for a punk rock band to go up there and make a political statement. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. I genuinely believe that no one on the right understands what punk is. I swear they just hear like punk and then it's just like, oh, pretty music. Like, no, not at all. Punk is like just ideology after ideology. Like, it's all about the anti-corporatism, anti-consumerism, anti-authoritarianism. And when you tell them this, they're like, no. Nope. It's just in one ear, out the other. Like, punk is not a right-wing thing. You cannot be a fucking right-winger and be punk. It's just not compatible. And to top it off, they're mad at Green Day. Green Day for making that political statement in American Idiot. Literally the title song, the first song off of their album, American Idiot. Which, if you listen to that album, I have many times. Literally, it's on my wall. It's the most political album I've ever heard. It's literally a big fuck you to the Bush administration, and it's so If you listen to the lyrics of American Idiot itself, it's literally so clear that the American Idiots are conservatives and Republicans. Like, analyzing the lyrics, well, maybe I'm the F word America. I'm not a part of a redneck agenda. Like, you're gonna listen to that and just think, no, it's just fun. It's literally just the us and them talking point that conservatives always do. Like, it's literally just like pitting two groups against each other. That's literally like the entire thing. And y'all are dumb. Y'all are stupid. Why are you mad at a punk band for being political? I don't understand. Anyway, stream Dilemma. Stream the new Green Day album.
Two Palestinian brothers were stripped at gunpoint while these snipers were standing on top of dozens of tanks that were surrounding them in the safe passage that the state of Israel said these Palestinians can walk from the north to the south. One brother was let go and the fate of the other one is unknown. They raped a 13-year-old boy in prison, and when the charity that exposed them came forward and put out the evidence for it, the IDF soldiers raided this charity, destroyed the computers, and then labeled the charity a terrorist organization. So getting exposed for raping children makes you a terrorist? Make it make sense, man. The occupied West Bank is also going through collective punishment. Every single day, children are getting arrested. People's houses are getting raided. Why the hell are settlers allowed to shoot children and women and men whenever they want, wherever they want? Why the hell is this allowed to be done by a settler? Why are people not allowed to pray in the mosque? What harm is that going to do? They are praying peacefully. And you wanna collectively punish people that are not even involved? I have to keep saying that there is no Hamas inside the West Bank. There is no type of militant group inside the West Bank. Yet these people still have the balls to do what they do. It's effed up. It's so messed up. And then people are still saying, oh, but they're allowed to defend themselves. Defend themselves from what? They're on occupied land. Under Article 51, they are not even allowed to say it's self-defense, no matter what type of source they cite. Because you are on occupied land, so you cannot defend yourself from a crime that you committed. Israel's plan from the very beginning was to level Gaza to the ground, and this is why we need to keep boycotting so they're not getting enough funds to do so. People have to keep boycotting because the boycott is working. Believe it or not, it is working. It is making an impact, and they are causing a racket over this boycott. They are doing their absolute best to try and get people to come and buy shit, but don't. Be strong.
I'm never gonna shut the fuck up when it comes about Palestine. Before October 7th, I've always been pro-Palestinian. I wasn't pro-Palestinian on the day of October 7th. I wasn't pro-Palestinian a year ago. I've been pro-Palestinian literally since I was born. My whole life has been around Palestinians living in diaspora. My grandfather fought in the 1967 war against the Israelis. My country in Iraq loves Palestinians so much we named a whole street after them, called Palestine Street. In each and every TikTok video, even before October 7th, even the comedic and Arabic music ones that you guys watch and enjoy, I wear a kufiya. I wear the Palestinian kufiya in each and every one of them. For those who have just followed me because of the introduction of Arabic music and the culture, I need you guys to know that some of the songs that I use in my content are Palestinian. It has a Palestinian beat, has Palestinian lyrics, they're using their Palestinian Arabic accent. So if you enjoy that and you're still silent about what's happening to Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, unfollow me right now.
So I decided to use this filter for once, just so you don't see how miserable I look. Tonight, as we are welcoming 2024 as displaced people with no home to go back to. My own home and my parents' home both were destroyed. And my child Wissam has fever and diarrhea for 3 days now, and there's no medicine, not in the hospital, not in the private pharmacies. There is no antibiotics, there is no painkillers, I'm seeing my child suffer in front of my eyes. So for everyone out there celebrating the New Year's Eve, no hard feelings. I mean, we do feel that we are in this alone. After 85 days, so no hard feelings at all.
Please, if you're a pro-Palestinian, please watch this video. If you feel like you are helpless, like there's nothing you can do about the situation going on in Palestine right now, and you feel like, oh, like, I just wish I could go over there and fight, but like I can't, and so there's nothing I can do. We have only one job here in America, and that is to dismantle the machine. Dismantling the machine, the American war killing murder machine, is literally you stopping spending. Just stop. Just stop. Buy your food, buy your water, just buy necessities. Be conscious about where you purchase things from. Focus your attention on the BDS list and all of the companies that we're here to put pressure on and that we're here to defund. Because we funded the war machine, it's our job to break it. So please do not feel helpless. Do not keep focusing all of your thoughts on the fighting that you want to do and the fact that you feel like since you can't go over there, you can't help. We only need 11.5 million people to stop participating in the economy, and we will accomplish what we're looking to accomplish. So please, talk to your family, talk to your friends, hold people around you accountable. Tell them that we are doing this for the next 18 months and into the foreseeable future, because even if we defund the war machine there, we still need to defund the one here. Talk to everyone you know and get people on board. This is how we win. This is how we help.